somebody said, how come everything is illegal, but there's nothing we can do about it? And first of all, we are doing things about it. But second of all, I got to put the blame here where it belongs, and that is on Trump's Republican enablers. The system was set up for especially the Republican, especially the Senate, to care more about the country than they do about their party. And Donald Trump should have been convicted of the charges on which he was impeached in 2020 and again in 2021. And they let him go because they wanted to have partisan advantage. They could shut this down whenever they wanted to. And the huge irony of this is that if they did, if the Republicans really began to jump ship, the people who do that would build themselves extraordinary careers and places in the history books. So far, they are refusing to do it, and it is an extraordinary dereliction of duty that I feel very keenly because they are destroying our system of government. So we're not able to count on them, which is where the framers of the Constitution put the responsibility for protecting Americans against the rise of a dictator. They're punting. They're refusing to do it. They're waiting for somebody to take over. This is absolutely inexcusable. If senators in Congress and representatives in Congress are refusing to act, the courts are holding. The lower courts are holding, not the Supreme Court, but the lower courts are holding, and they're pushing back, and they're stopping the administration in every possible different way. And that matters because it slows the march of authoritarianism. It makes it more difficult. It muddies the waters in really important ways. And that matters. And the lawyers who are standing against them matter. But so too do Americans who are standing up against the suppression of free speech, for example. The reinstatement of Jimmy Kimmel on into his show Jimmy Kimmel Live mattered because what it said was that the administration cannot simply stifle language that it doesn't want. And crucially, even though Sinclair and I think it was Nexstar tried to suppress Jimmy Kimmel's show from local channels, what individuals did was they watched those shows, figured out who the advertisers were on them, and called them and said they were going to boycott. That forced those private organizations, those companies, I'm sorry, to back down. And that was a real triumph. It was a real triumph because it illustrated that this march toward authoritarianism is not going to go unchallenged.